Hey cuties, I'm Lanikia and you're watching What Happened on the Soaps. This is the General Hospital edition. All right, guys, let's jump right into it. Today is Monday, January the 23rd, 2023. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to have to give this one it's like a 7. It was a 7. Let's get into it. I'm not going to hold y'all long on this. Y'all already know how we're going to do it. Um, we see Dex, Cam, and Jocelyn. Baby, Cam is hurt. He's like, what is this man doing at your apartment? So this is why you broke up with me, Josh? Because Dex is there with no shirt on. Jocelyn is in her robe. The bed is all in disarray, excuse me. And so he knows what's going on. And so he's like, man, I'm getting out. And Jocelyn was like, no, Cam, please, let's talk. So he goes into the room or whatever. And I said, Dex, what are you doing there? And Dex is just like, I, hey man, I'm really sorry. He said, don't man me. Like, don't man me. You're not sorry. So then Cameron is trying to leave again. And Josh said, please, Cameron, can you come back? Let's not do this in the hallway. And so he comes back into the room. And this time Dex leaves and he tells Jocelyn, if you need anything, I'm gonna be here for you. And she was like, okay. So Dex ends up, no, he told her to call him afterwards so he'll know she's all right. I said, she'll be all right. Get your ass on. So then then Cameron and Jocelyn, they're talking, right? And so while they're talking, he's just like, so this is why you broke up with me? And she was like, no. And she said, Cameron, we're broken up. What I do after we're broken up, she's not sorry. And listen, I'm not saying she has to be sorry for what she does with Dex after she broke up with Cameron. That's your life. That's your bed. You can do whatever you want with it. But what you don't have a right to do is to lie to Cameron's face and make this seem like the only reason you broke up with him is because y'all drifted apart. Spencer told you this was a lie, Cam. You knew deep down this was a lie. And so now you see for yourself that is not the truth. This girl broke up with you because she had feelings for Dex. And when he accuses her of this, she says, no, that is not it. And he was like, stop gaslighting me. You're not going to sit here in my face and play in my face and tell me that's not what it is. When I can clearly see what it is, I'm looking at the bed. And he says, but at least tell me you waited until after we broke up. And so she looking guilty. He was like, oh my gosh. So then she tells him it was New Year's, and I went to break up with you. He said, yeah, I know. And she was like, no, before that I went to break up with you. And I got and then the hook killer, I was on Pier 55, and she bringing up all this other stuff. I was on Pier 55, and then Bread came and she saved me from the hook killer. And Cam was like, oh, are you okay? I said, baby, oh gosh. But he was like, are you okay? And she was like, yes. And then the truth is, Dex came through and he saved me. And he was like, oh, so you're in your gratitude, that's how you wanted to thank him. She was like, no, it was not like that, Cam. She said, I tried to break up with you before. And I'm like, okay, y'all not finna tell me that, oh, she doesn't have to feel bad for what she did. Because truth be told, she's not telling him the truth, because she's not telling him all the times that she was running over to Dex place and how she helped him when he got shot. And she's not telling him all this different stuff. And she's not telling him about all the kisses they shared while she was still with Cam, all up in Cam's face. Like, Jocelyn is not being truthful in this. And that's what she's wrong for. If you want to sleep with Dex after you are officially broke up with Cam, girl, that is your business. But you don't get to lie about why y'all broke up. You broke up. One of the main reasons you broke up is because you were liking Dex. Like, I don't understand I don't understand it. But let's move on, because he he said he said, because she said, the way you were looking at me at Kelly's, I didn't think you wanted to speak to me again. He said, well, if you thought I looked at you bad before, baby, I can't stand you now. I don't even want to see you and all that. And I don't know. What I didn't understand about this whole thing is, you don't feel sorry for what you did, just like Carly. She does things she doesn't feel sorry for them. She makes an excuse for why she did things. She's such a hypocrite about this, because when it was Sunny and Nina, she had, oh my gosh, they're so wrong. They shouldn't do this. But in her mind, she really feels like she's done nothing wrong. And miss me in any comments trying to at Lanikia about, oh, she didn't do anything wrong. Yes, she did. She's lying. She's lying about how she felt about him from the very beginning, about why she broke up with him. After the fact, I don't care. She still shouldn't have slept with Dex before she had officially broke up with Cam. She was still kissing on Dex before she had officially broke up with Cam. She was still spending time with Dex before she had officially broke up with Cam. So yes, she was wrong, and she's such a hypocrite about it. And this is one of the reasons, like, I can't stand this little girl. Let's move on. So then we see Dante and Sam, and she wants to go with him to the. I'm not gonna hold you long on that. She wants to go over here to talk to Esme because she's trying to find out information on Maggie. You should have did this months ago, but whatever. So Heather Weber is there with Esme because Esme has been. This woman tried to attack Esme because she was in her seat or whatever, and that one she had to let that woman know Esme is under Heather Weber's protection, so don't try it. And you let everybody else know. And I said, well, there's not been anything like this at this place the whole time. But okay, I'm gonna roll with it, GH. I'm gonna roll with it. So then Sam and them come in, and Dante wants to speak to Heather, and she says, okay, but we don't have to go far because he was looking at Heather and Esme like, what they talking about? And so then Sam goes and speaks to Esme, and she said, I'm a private detective. I'm not the cop, so you can talk to me. And she said, I want to find out about your nanny, Maggie. And Sam, Esme was like, I can't pay you. She said, well, this would actually help a lot of people that I care for. So it'd be fine if we could find out. And she was like, okay. And then she told her, you know, Esme asked Sam, am I the hook killer? She said, I don't think you are. She said the other stuff. She said, oh, you did that, girl. Esme said, oh God, I like this new Esme. I mean, I like the old Esme too, because if you have to have villains in this. There has to be villains. Everybody can't be sunshines and hugs. So, anyways, Dante talking to Heather, and he like, what's going on? Like, you ain't gave us no information. We're gonna get you out of this little cushy place. And she said, Ryan talks about Heather Esme all the time. He asks about her all the time. He said, I need more information than that. She said, well, now that Esme's here, I'm gonna have them bump into each other, and I'm gonna tell you whatever Ryan tries to say to her. And he was like, you got 1 week. And she said, well, that's not enough time, but okay. And so she goes back over there. Dante and Heather go back over there, and they hear the tail end of the conversation about Maggie. And she said, what is it y'all talking about? And Esme says, oh, she's going to try to find my nanny, Maggie, because she thinks she knows who my father is. And I said, well, you just gave Heather that information. So then we go to Sonny and Spencer. And Spencer is coming into the Sonny's, home, talking about, I need a 2-car garage. I need this, I need that. Because he's speaking to a realtor trying to get a home. And Sonny's like, what's going on? And he said, I'm going to sue for custody of my baby brother or sister. And so he was like, oh, okay. So Sonny tries to talk to Spencer about parenting is hard, Spencer. He was like, he try to teach him from his mistakes and everything. But he says, you can't just say, I'm going to get a nanny and I'm going to do this and then. Like, you can't throw money at a child. You actually have to be there. You have to go to their events. You have to do things with them. So it's not that easy. And Spencer says, he's ready for the challenge. He says, plus, Spencer, you're gonna go to war with Nicholas if you try to do this. But again, Spencer wants to do it. Sonny doesn't really want him to, because he's like, you're gonna change your world upside down, and you and your father might not come back from this. Because Sonny knows. And he said, but I'm gonna go ahead. Spencer wants to go ahead and do it. So then, baby, I don't know why Dex came up in there, but Dex came up in there talking about we're gonna get one thing straight. I said, Sonny, I don't like it. Because at first he thought it was Frank, but it was Dex. And so, baby, Spencer said, our bar is done. He told Dex, listen here, Aaron boy. You go outside and you find a chore to do because we talking right here. And Sonny told Dex, just go. I'm gonna hit you up later. And Spencer told Sonny, I don't like him, Sonny. And he said, don't even. It was the way he said it. Don't worry. He said something along the lines of, don't worry about Dex, or I got Dex taken care of. Something along those lines. And I don't know. I think Sonny is not as dumb as they're making him out to be on not knowing who Dex is, because even when they were talking about the Pikeman deal, Sonny said, I got it under control. Like, everything's going to work out fine, Dix. Don't worry about it. And so I think Sonny is not as dumb. But anyways, Spencer ends up leaving because Sonny once again tells him, it's your decision. I don't think you should do it, but it's your decision. And so Spencer tells Dex, you're up. So Dex goes in, and Sonny tells him, no matter what, it's family first, always. So don't interrupt me when I'm talking to family. And so that's it with them, y'all. So then here comes Elizabeth and her mama talking. And y'all, it ain't nothing. They're just talking about how, I told you, honorable mentions. They're talking about how Elizabeth, Elizabeth feels like her mother turned on her and she didn't support her, and she don't like that. She feels like her mother should have supported her instead of like her dad. And I said, well, some women, they do support their dad. And her mama thought she was doing the right thing. And she said, why would you stay with him? She said, because I love him. And we've had some good times. We have good times. I said, I don't know what's going on here. I don't know, but I knew as soon as when she said that she was in town with a client and she didn't know how long she was going to stay, maybe days, maybe weeks. I said, something ain't right. But Elizabeth's just like, I'm cool on you. But her mother does let her know she's gonna be staying at the Metro Court. So then we go over here at Laura and Nicholas, and he talks about his divorce papers and how they've come in. And Laura's like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sad about that. I know it's a hard thing." And he tells her, he tells her he wants full custody of the baby. And she said, "You don't want Esme to even have visitation? That's kind of harsh, Nicholas." He said the baby will be better off. And she said, "Honestly, Esme ain't remembering nothing, and if that keeps going on, you're gonna have a hard enough time fighting her." And he says it's probably best that Esme doesn't remember. And she's like, what do you mean by that? But then she gets a call, right? And we find out the call she got was from Elizabeth, and Elizabeth's telling her mother's in town, and she ain't trusting her mother. And she said, I'm not trusting Nicholas. Well, I mean, she said it on next episode, but I'm just telling you what they said. So, anyways, then all of a sudden, somebody's at Nicholas' door, and it's none other than Elizabeth's mom, Carol. I said, I knew it. I knew you were up to some shady just popping up in town. So, anyways, then we go over here and we see Mason, Ava, and Austin, right? And she like, I know you, because she had went up in his office to get the referral for the plastic surgery. And she's like, I know you. And he was like, no. And she said, yeah. She was like, actually, I saw you on the night of I saw you the night that I got hooked. I got attacked. And he said, because at first he tried to deny it, but she was like, no, you were there. I remember seeing you. And then she said, the police told me I should talk to everybody that I should talk to. I should tell them everybody that I talked to. And Austin was like, Yo, elaborate on that. And so they playing Mason off because she remembers that Mason was threatening Austin that night or whatever. And she was like, yeah, I should talk to them because they wanted to know. And so Mason hurries and leaves out because he don't want no part of no police or whatever. And so then Austin is just like, thanks for the assist. And she was like, you're welcome. He's like, don't do it again. I said, these two have chemistry. And like a lot of people who review this, I agree. Ava has chemistry with almost everyone. Like there isn't a man that they're making her love interest that she doesn't have kids. She can just act and she can bring because she's different with each one. She's still Ava, but her personality changes just a little bit with each one or whatever. And so, anyways, she tells him, "Listen, I know about being to family, and you don't want to be family with them." And because Austin was like, "My dad," and is that the first time we've heard him talk about his dad and say his name? But he said he would have wanted me to stand up. He said, "So I'm gonna do that now." And I said, "Well, I guess it don't matter what Mason was saying about Georgie and Maxie. He's saying." I'm gonna stand up and I'm not gonna give in to them or whatever. And she was like, okay. And then he told her, just don't get involved. You don't want to get involved in this. She was like, you probably right. And so when Ava leaves, we see Mason walk through and he looks in the direction that Ava leaves. I said, you don't want it with Ava Jerome, sir. He said, I said, you Gatlins don't want it with Ava Jerome, but maybe they don't bring them in. Anyways, y'all, that was General Hospital today. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And I will see you tomorrow for an all new episode of What Happened on the Soaps General Hospital edition. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.